Let's hook a transition to some Canes talk. You know what? Martin Necas may have been one of those guys.
Maybe.
In the Czech Republic, because the physical skills he shows, speed, right? They're things that like a youth coach watches and goes, this kid might be something. This offseason for the Canes, which is started, by the way, is going to be fun for 100 reasons. Most of them involve the Canes, right? Canes have draft picks they can trade. Canes have draft picks they can make in the draft. Canes have a ton of money to spend under the salary cap.
They do.
Players who made just a little bit of an appearance last year now going to be developing and getting their opportunity. Alexander Nikishin. Like, there's a billion reasons to be excited. Maybe Sebastian Aho can build off the first period in Game 5 against the Panthers, where he finally turned into an angry Aho and went nuts and scored 2 goals. All of that. And then there are some reasons where this is going to be exciting. It's going to be fun as audience members. So Sportsnet put out a list in which they listed 20 names they've heard in trade talks and 20 names they expect to have in trade talks over the next several weeks. 11 of them were defensemen. I don't think the Canes are going to be big spenders for defense. They might bring in a veteran to if they need a right-handed vet. Anyway, I don't think they're going to be big spenders, so I kind of just get rid of those 11. There were 9 forwards. One of them was Martin Necas.
Ooh.
What?
Right wing, Avalanche.
Wow.
And in the description for why he was there, you could have picked up the paragraph and just put it last offseason, changed Avs for Canes, darn near not super excited about the way he's being used and is looking for a certain commitment. And
was
also,
his dad mentioned?
And also a role. His dad was not mentioned.
Oh.
Although he wasn't directly.
Yeah, he might have been there in
Some
the
of
shadows.
Some of the opinions may have originated there. And all I could think of was this. How they found you is how they will leave you. Now, normally that's relationship advice, right? If somebody is dating somebody that is super attractive, and then for whatever reason the looks go, and they leave them and go to you, and you're super attractive, and then when your looks go, if they leave, you shouldn't be surprised. How they found you is how they'll leave you. If somebody cheats on their partner with you, then their partner breaks up with them, and they're dating you, and they cheat on you, I don't think you're allowed to be surprised by that. You can be hurt, but I don't know if you can be surprised by that. How they found you is how they'll leave you. An underrated part of making roster decisions is finding players that want to play for your team. And I think Eric Tulsky learned that kind of the hard way for the Canes this year with Mikko Rantanen. You got to not only find somebody whose skill set fits, who the numbers, the analytics say, from where he takes his shots and the shooting percentage and the amount of minutes he skates on the left wing, it works. You need somebody that wants to be there. Or the opposite is true. You need to have a cold-blooded business decision. I've seen this. I played college football. I'm a diehard football fan. You see it in the NFL, where occasionally somebody like Ndamukong Suh did it, where you just become a mercenary. Like, it is very well known from the beginning, I will work very hard for you. I will be as productive as I can. We aren't friends. I'm renting. I'm not putting down roots. I am here for the football season. I will sign a 1-year contract, and at the end of this season, I'm probably going somewhere else. And as long as you're aware of that,
right?
That's good business, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I just need to fill this hole. We're going to draft somebody to replace you, or we have a young guy that we know is going to replace you, but he's not quite ready. Like, we can shake hands on this and be cool with it. You have to know what motivates the player. If someone is just showing up because you gave them the most money, they will leave you when somebody else offers them more money. If someone is only playing for your team because they think they're going to have a bananas statistical season, if they don't have that bananas statistical season, they're going to leave and try somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the Canes, like I said, the off-season's going to be awesome for a lot of reasons. You just get to watch.
Right.
You just get to watch and think, we turned Necas, that problem you're dealing with, and Drury, who's, I got nothing bad to say about Drury.
I hated to see Drury go.
And a handful of mid-round picks into Logan Stankoven, 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and Taylor Hall.
Yes, 2 guys who for sure want to be here.
There it is. Are they the physical talent of Martin Necas or Mikko Rantanen, obviously?
Sure, right.
Not at this point.
Yeah.
Right? Not at this point in their careers. But they want to be here. They're not here on some like, hey, how many years do I have on my contract? I'll give you that much, and then we can shake hands and leave. They're on some, I want to put down roots. Taylor Hall started talking about roots as soon as he got here.
Yes.
He started talking about, I bounced around too much. I want to find a place where I can establish myself. And by the end of the year, he signed a 3-year extension. Logan Stankoven, go listen to his exit interviews from last week. This is not a guy that wants to leave. So the other thing that is going to be fun this offseason is, what do the Canes spend on? Who do the Canes spend on? Particularly the big money decisions, right? I think Tulsky has proven, right? He can find a Robinson. He can find a Roslovic. Like, he can find those guys to fill out a roster. But where do the big money go? Where does the big money go? Matter of fact, we have a clip here of Eric Tulsky earlier today about, in terms of cap space, are there areas on the roster specifically that they want to improve?
There's always room for improvement, right? I've said it before, until we have the 20 best players in the league, there's still room to get better. And we're going to keep working towards that, right? Every time we see an opportunity to bring in someone who we think helps us take a step forwards, we're going to take advantage of that.
And he has the 20 people, best 20 in the league. That's his line. He says it a lot. But he does have, to me, the Mikko trade, the first one where they acquired him, gives him a bit of bona fides to where it's like, I'll do it. Right? It's not him. He's not the boy that cried wolf about making big, like I've done it before. I'll do it again. So the other part of this Sportsnet list, outside of Martin Necas being there, Elias Pettersson, Marco Rossi, John Gibson, the goalie for the Ducks, Chris Kreider, Ivan Barbashev, Andrew Kopp, Andre Palat, Dawson Mercer. There's some names here. Those are some names. And if teams are already, back channels or whatever, Sportsnet, they found it somewhere. Somebody said something. If it's already out there, might be a point in time where their teams are motivated sellers this offseason. How many of us right now, while I read that list, just started, how would they fit? Who would they skate with? Oh, really? Oh, they're available. I didn't. Oh, okay. And you're already like picking a jersey number. You're already imagining them in the red, the black, and the white uniforms.
Yep. Thinking of their nickname.
Yeah. Could they? They would look good in that Whalers on Whalers night. Like, you're already doing all of that. But the thing that Martin Necas is teaching us with the Avs, the thing that Mikko Rantanen taught us with the Canes, is it's not just about getting the players. It's about getting somebody that wants to play there and wants to play there for the right reasons. Right? Not just, and again, unless they're just upfront about it. But I don't think any of those guys are ones that you want to bring in for a flyer and then bounce. To me, Roslovic was kind of that way, if we're being honest. I don't think Roslovic's coming back next year. I think he was brought in to give them some scoring punch for a year to fill out a roster. Then you shake hands, you send him on his way, you gave him a 20-plus goal season to put on his resume and help him negotiate.
Yeah.
That's just a good business decision. These guys, the ones I just mentioned, if you bring them in, you want them to be a part of the core, you better darn sure make sure they want to be a part of the core. They want to be around. They want to build. They want to help the young guys. Because that's the other thing. Like, if you're here for a year or two and you know it, why what are you mentoring a young guy for? You're not going to be
exactly.
Not going to be around. You're not going to be around when he's good.
Yeah.
They talk family with the Canes a lot. You need to make sure somebody wants to be a part of your family.
Big time. It's a big time family.
I don't know. And by the way, I talk a big game. I often call myself not just a problems guy, a solutions guy. I understand I just did a lot of problems. I don't know how you do this. I think really the only way is gut instinct.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to talk to them or Zoom with them or shake their hand. I don't think that, some people get real deep down the wormhole of like, I talked to their middle school coach and I talked to the janitor at their high school and they were a good kid and they always said thank you. And they like, I get if you want to be thorough. I genuinely think you have to have some interpersonal skills and just be willing to walk away from a deal.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Just not feeling it.
I didn't get the right vibe from him.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard because it's hard to explain to an owner. Wait, you told me all this was so good about their play and you were so excited. What are we walking away for? It's like,
See, this is where, when you brought it up earlier about the Rod and the Eric Tulsky roles not meshing, because I feel like Rod definitely checks that, like,
yes.
Is he vibing with the team?
Yes.
Is he going to be good in the locker room? And then Eric is the, like, let's do the paperwork. Let's do the analytics.
And they both need to sign off.
Yes.
Both should have full veto power.
Right.
Like, no question. I say no. Not why. Oh, but, yeah, no. It's actually, I'll go back to my college career one more time here. University of Delaware, I take pride that I started my career as a walk-on, ended up scholarship, played a good amount, all that kind of stuff. But I used to take pride that coaches often, if we had a recruiting weekend, had me host a recruit.
Yeah.
One, because I'm like, all right, they know I'm responsible, right? I'm not a knucklehead that's going to go get them in trouble. We're not going to get arrested tonight. But two, they would, like, the next time you're in there watching film, they stop in and go like, is he a good kid?
What'd you think?
Like, was he a guy? Could he hang? Like, I always valued that they respected my opinion on like who's a good hang. Sometimes it was annoying as heck to be like, junior in college and you got some 17-year-old following you around all night. But those conversations were always fun to me. And spilling on like, no, he was cool. Oh, he was, he got along with the linemen, right? You know how the linemen are. He was playing beer pong with so and so. Like that stuff, it matters. And I don't know if I ever did say. I'm probably hinted. But I don't know if I ever went like,
Not good. I was about to ask if you ever had to have that conversation.
I mean, I'm sure I hinted because not all of them were the same, like, awesome guy.
Sure.
But I also didn't want to ruin anyone's dream because, like,
Yeah.
Hey, I like, doing this and they like doing something else. But I always wonder if I ever went to them and said, like, absolutely not, if they would take them off the board. If they're like, all right, we're not offering them a scholarship. I want to know because I think it should be that important. It's as important as a 40 in football. It's as important as a blue line to blue line time and all that stuff in hockey. Like, it's as important. Speaking of all of that, and this is a perfect way to go next. Jesper Fast officially retired earlier this week. Now, this is but a formality, right? He didn't play all season, but he was on the inactive list on every starting lineup that we received. Like, he was on the team. He was just inactive. His career is a great lesson for actually the college athletes I was just talking about. Great lesson for athletes. Think about what happened. He didn't play this whole year. He got hurt in the last regular season game the previous year. He was cruising. This is where he was. Cruising as a main contributor, like skated a lot of minutes on an all-in contender for the Stanley Cup Finals. One of the betting favorites to win the whole thing. He was playing in a meaningless end of the regular season game with a bunch of young guys. 9 of the more quote-unquote star players were held out, not skating, getting rest for the postseason. He's out there. Slides awkwardly into the boards, hurts his neck. Career over. 700-plus games in the league. Dunzo. And the lesson is real simple. Only the absolute great and absolute lucky get to retire on their own terms. Everyone else gets retired by the game. Either they're staying in shape for a season and their agent's going, haven't heard anything. Haven't heard any. Oh, so-and-so called. They weren't that interested. Haven't heard anything. And then, halfway into their first season of offseason, they're like, this might be over. Either that happens or an injury retires you. And that's brutal. Brutal. Right? Not many get the teary-eyed press conference. I've given this game everything I have. I just want to say thank you to my brothers and the coaches that believed in me. And then they unretire and come back for one more year and do it all over again. Not many get that. And then secondly, even a season can end that quickly. right? So the lesson is like, don't take things for granted. But even a season can end that quickly. What is it? Zach Hyman with the Oilers.
Yes, that was huge. That loss is huge.
It's massive. And I forgot, I was listening to a podcast. This is not my story, so cite it to wherever it should be cited. Where Hyman told the reporter maybe that he didn't realize that like it was like done. Like his brain, it didn't wrap around it that this year's season was over.
Yeah.
Until teammates started checking up on him during intermission. And he knew like, oh, when I'm healthy, you only come back to check on a guy during intermission when they're dealing with something like tough.
Yeah.
They're all checking up on me.
Everyone.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is like the doctor could have looked at him and said like, you're not going to skate again for 6 months. I don't know what it actually will be. And he was kind of like, no, I'm different.
Right.
Then when his teammates were coming through and going like, hey man, tough, just checking up on you. He was like, oh no.
And that was such an awkward hit too. It didn't look as bad as like other hits that take you out.
Yeah, he's probably watching the replay going, there's no way that's going to keep me, a Canadian, off of an opportunity to give Canada their first cup in a billion years for the Oilers. There's no way that's going to happen, but it did.
Yeah.
And now he's done for the year. The only good news for somebody like Fast, and Hyman maybe to a lesser extent, is first of all, when you retire as an athlete, you kind of weirdly get to watch your own funeral. Everybody says really nice things about you. Like Martin Necas tweeting how awesome of a teammate you are. And you know, most of us have to die and then people say all the things nice about us.
Right.
Athletes get this weird like third of the way through your life funeral. So Fast he got a lot of love this week. He got a lot of people saying really nice things about Jesper Fast. And then secondly, and this is one of my observations that I've used for a while. Nobody is celebrated in American society, maybe all societies, but I only know American society. American society more than an athlete that once did something great that is now retired.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, whatever that was, May 2023, Fast scored the overtime and series-winning goal against the Devils. Game 5, Eastern Conference semis, punched their ticket to the finals. The fact that or the Eastern Conference finals, the fact that existed.
Yeah. That's what sticks.
Anytime Fast is having a rough couple of months, right? I don't know. I assume he's going to go into some other career. Who knows? Maybe he's done well with his money and he's just going to sit back and kick his feet up. I don't know. He's going to start whittling. I don't know. But anytime he's had a rough couple months, he can just call up the Canes, say, hey, do you have a siren sounder for the second intermission? And he can walk into a packed Lenovo Center because they sell out darn near every game. Mm-hmm. They'll play that goal on the Jumbotron, put his face, and he just waves, and thousands of people will just cheer like he's a gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he's retired, so he'll never go out there and give up a goal and have everybody get mad at him ever again.
Mm-hmm.
It is a kind of it's a cheat code in like dopamine rush.
I know. Maybe this is like Michael O'Connell for the NC State fans.
Yes. Like
I don't know if it'll last as long, but
heck yeah, it will.
Maybe.
If Michael O'Connell, like he's, by the way, like a genius.
Yeah.
He went to Stanford and all these places and got all these high degrees. If in 20 years from now his like CEO job is kind of boring, I'm going to go check out the old Wolfpack. and all he's going to have to do is walk in, they'll put him on the Jumbotron, they'll play the shot, and the place will go bonkers. Most people never get to know what it feels like to have 20, 30,000 people just cheer for you. Mm-hmm. They get to turn it on like a light switch.
Yep.
They just get to walk in. By the way, once you're retired, when you're still playing, it's still like, well, let's see what he's going to do for us on game day.
Might be something better.
Yeah, or worse. Like there's still, but those guys, they I mean, have you ever seen like Peppers walk into Bank of America?
Oh, every time.
He doesn't even know the camera's on him half the time. He's just walking, like he's got his kids with him, and the crowd goes wild, and you almost see him look around like, what, did somebody do something cool? No, they just put you on the Jumbotron, Pep.
Yeah, look up. It's you.
Who needs drugs or alcohol when you can get that kind of dopamine hit?
I know.
And Jesper Fast did it because he had a couple game winners in the postseason, a series clincher. Like, you're one of them ones. You get to walk in and just have everybody go, we love you.
Right.
Quickie.
You're the best.
Quickie, over here, Quickie. That's fantastic.